Rise and grind DMV, happy Sunday. We are waking up to those warm temperatures, and that's going to continue as we head through the rest of the work week. So keep it here. We'll have a full breakdown of that forecast up next.
This morning on DC News Now, the United States bombing Iran, directly joining Israel in the conflict. We're bringing you reaction from your lawmakers and what lies ahead. Plus, 2 people are dead after a shooting in the district. What we know as the police investigate in Northeast. And seeing priceless art for free. The details on the art galleries in the district offering no cost entry.
You're watching the station covering all of the DMV. This is DC News Now.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us on DC News Now. I'm Haley Mylon. Let's take a live look outside right now. 7 o'clock your time. There's the Roslyn skyline looking good, but if you could feel the heat in a picture, Brittany, I just know that if I touch that screen, it's gonna simmer. It's just so toasty out there already, right? I mean, well, to me, you know, when it's hot, you just can't escape it at night.
Yeah, and you're just like, man, what is going on? I will say, at least right now, yes, it is warm, but it's not as hot as what we are going to be seeing later on today. So definitely need the AC, and you also need the H2O because that extreme heat is moving in. Yeah. And unfortunately, it's going to call us home for the next couple of days. I'm not ready for this. Your time now, 7:01, satellite and radar showing you at least we are dry thanks to our best friend high pressure just off to the south. That high, well, it's not going to be going anywhere. It's just going to park itself there as we head through the first half of the work week, and that's going to be providing us with mostly sunny skies. Now, we do have a disturbance that's just off to the northeast. We cannot rule out this dipping further south later on today and clipping that Maryland-Pennsylvania borderline, but areas south of Baltimore, you guys are still going to be holding on to those dry conditions, all thanks to that high pressure. Now, temperatures have started to rise from earlier this morning. We are sitting at 76 degrees right now in DC. 79 as you head over there to Lexington Park, still holding on to the 60s, back off to the north and the west, out towards Kaiser as well as Cumberland, but that moisture has arrived across the area, giving us the muggy feel. Dew points right now sitting in the 60s to 70s across the region, and those heat index, this is what you really want to dress for as we head through the day today. So keep it here. We'll have a full breakdown of this forecast, Haley, and what to expect up next.
Well, the weather, Brittany, it's been taking a toll on our region. Taking a live look at the power outage map in Maryland and D.C. right now. Fortunately, only just 90 customers without power following this week's storms, following that damaging system that we had move in last week. Pepco saying at the latest, all customers will have power restored by tonight. And developing now, the United States directly bombing Iran, hitting 3 nuclear sites. All of this beginning after Israel bombed Iran in preemptive strikes about 2 weeks ago. Israel says that the strike was to prevent Iran from developing a nuclear weapon. The 2 countries have been trading strikes ever since, but this is the first time the U.S. has gotten involved directly, despite Trump saying he'd weigh involvement in coming weeks. The president speaking on the objective of the strikes last night. Take a listen.
Our objective was the destruction of Iran's nuclear enrichment capacity and a stop to the nuclear threat posed by the world's #1 state sponsor of terror. Tonight, I can report to the world that the strikes were a spectacular military success. Iran's key nuclear enrichment facilities have been completely and totally obliterated. Iran, the bully of the Middle East, must now make peace.
Now, this comes after conflicting information from intelligence officials on how far Iran's nuclear program was towards developing a nuclear weapon. President Trump, though, went on to say that future attacks may be coming to Iran. Iran reacting to the strike, saying, quote, the U.S. has itself launched a dangerous war against Iran. The United Nations closely monitoring the situation. The nuclear watchdog group will be holding an emergency meeting tomorrow. And local lawmakers are reacting. Maryland Senator Chris Van Hollen speaking out against the strike on Iran. In a statement, he said, quote, Trump said he would end wars, and now he's dragged America into one. His actions are a clear violation of our Constitution. And he went on to say the U.S. intelligence community has repeatedly assessed that Iran is not building a nuclear weapon. There was more time for diplomacy to work. Trump is yet again betraying Americans by embroiling the United States in this conflict. And at 8 a.m., the Pentagon will be holding a press conference and we'll learn more about the strikes. And developing now, D.C. police investigating a double homicide in Northeast. This happening just after midnight on 19th Street. Officers arrived to the scene to find two men with bullet wounds. Neither of them were breathing, both pronounced dead at the scene. But right now, no one is in custody. If you know anything about what happened, you're asked to contact police. To Maryland, in Montgomery County, police investigating a shooting at the Silver Spring Metro station. This happening around 11 p.m. last night. One man was shot. He's expected to be okay, though. Police say right now no suspect information is available. Again, if you know anything, let authorities know. DC News Now is your local election headquarters, and in Richmond, former Congresswoman Abigail Spanberger kicking off her statewide bus tour. Plus, the Democratic nominee gave her supporters quite the show of support. Capitol Bureau reporter Tyler Englander explains.
This is days after the Democratic primaries. All three Democrats running for statewide office are showing a unified front on the campaign trail.
It is such an honor to be joining this exciting team along with our next Attorney General, Jay Jones, and our next Governor, Abigail Spanberger.
The Democratic nominee for Lieutenant Governor, Ghazala Hashmi, and the party's nominee for Attorney General, Jay Jones, joining Democratic gubernatorial nominee Abigail Spanberger to launch her 8-day, 40-stop bus tour in Richmond.
I couldn't be happier to be running alongside two tremendous people. With the three of us on this ticket, you will get better.
Spanberger using the opportunity to outline what the Democratic ticket will prioritize if elected.
The costs for families across Virginia in housing, in healthcare, in energy, because everywhere I travel, people talk about how every day just gets a little harder. And we will work to ensure that Virginia is on a path towards having the very best public schools in the country.
All three Republican statewide candidates, Lieutenant Governor Winsome Earl-Sears, John Reed, and Attorney General Jason Miyares, have yet to all appear together. In Richmond, I'm Tyler Englander.
Tyler, thank you. And happening tomorrow, advocates are meeting with representatives to discuss the needs of the transgender community. As part of Pride Month, Trans Unity Coalition is helping create relationships with lawmakers. Last week, they held a rally outside of the Capitol building and a march to the White House to advocate for the trans community. Metro is increasing its service. It'll now be open until 2 a.m. on Friday and Saturday nights, with last night being the first night of the new initiative. Metro will also open earlier at 6 a.m. on Saturday and Sunday mornings. And beginning tomorrow, Red Line trains will be running every 4 minutes during rush hour. And with the warm weather, people are looking for all kinds of ways to stay cool. And our Dave Laval is showing us some pretty cool ways to beat the summer heat.
The sounds of much-needed relief around the district. Families find it at Lafayette Pointer Park.
I think it's way too hot.
The Spray Park is one of 36 around the district where people can go to beat the heat.
I think it's actually a really nice temperature, and I think it's really fun to play in it.
It's just really hot, and we needed to stay cool today.
Not just Saturday, as temperatures are expected to feel like or enter the triple digits for the next few days, something Tom Yeoman did not expect.
It's warm and humid, a little different than Denver.
This is the last weekend. Spray parks will be open just on weekends. Starting on Monday, you can use one 7 days a week.
They'll be available from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m.
It's going to be pretty brutal, and thankfully this will be on all week.
Unfortunately, the Fort Davis Community Center in Southeast is closed for the summer, while the Fort Griebel Recreation Center in Southwest is also shut down to the public.
Go get it.
Max Slutsky's daughter enjoys the cool water. The same can't be said for Yeoman's granddaughter. She prefers something more relaxing and drier. At Lafayette Pointer Park in Northwest, Dave Laval, DC News Now.
Dave, glad he got the chance to cool down there. The DC News Now team of meteorologists is tracking this extreme heat. Stay up to date on the latest by scanning that QR code on your screen. That's going to take you to the DC News Now weather page. You'll get the latest conditions and forecast there. And happening today, museums across DuPont and Kalorama are offering free admission. Walk Weekend is an annual event hosted by the Museum Consortium. It includes extended hours. Participating museums include the Phillips Collection, Dumbarton House, and DuPont Underground. It runs from 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. All of the museums are within walking distance from the DuPont Circle Metro Station. And it's the last day of the DC Barbecue Festival. If you're wondering why it smells so good in the district, that's probably why. Parts of 3rd Street, 4th Street, and 6th Street are shut down. They'll reopen early tomorrow morning. The Barbecue Festival began yesterday. It goes until 7 p.m. tonight. If you're going to be there, make sure you say hi to us. The DC News Now team will be there enjoying some barbecue, of course. But Brittany, hopefully our team is hydrating this morning because, oh my gosh, you walk outside and immediately just feel the heat. You feel my muscles from being outside yesterday, just moving around, lifting up the kids. I'm like feeling sore from it. And we were talking about hydration yesterday. It's so important.
So important. I mean, I was only outside maybe 10 minutes, taking a little walk in my neighborhood, and I was like, nope, I gotta go back and grab my water, and then I just didn't go back out. So we're gonna try this again today for this walk, but overall, yes, make sure to have the H2O, especially as we head into the afternoon, because things are really going to start to heat up as we head through your Sunday fun day. So check this out through the rest of your day today. Temperatures around 8 a.m. expected to warm up, getting into the upper 70s, lower 90s to talk about right around 11. However, it's going to feel like the mid to upper 90s, and then by 2 p.m. upper 90s expected to be the outside temperature, with those feel like temperatures in the triple digits. So keep it here. We'll have a full breakdown of that forecast, Haley, up next.